So you finally got yourself some auto miners, and you want to know what to do with them. I'm going to give you some tips I just recently found out after playing just over, I think, 1,500 hours. I monkeyed around and found out a few things. So just to show you here, we're on Reforged Eden 1.94, I believe. Yeah, there it is up at the top. I'm on my home planet. This planet is jungle, very large. Difficulty is hard, which I'm pretty sure reflects on like the size of nodes. Iron very large. I think that's because, you know, it's a hard planet. At least that's what it seems like. That's what I've been noticing. But anyways, so you finally got yourself an auto miner. Hopefully it's advanced. Either way, you know, it takes a auto miner core, so I'm big on believing that if you're going to use an auto mine core, make it advanced, because you get your best bang for your buck. You can see right there, ores per hour 200, storage limit almost 7,000. That's what's important to us. We want the most ore, the quickest, you know, for our fuel, because either way you're spending fuel, that valuable fuel, which also you want to have, you know, a big series. I've got 2 sites where I've got water pumps set up. This here is my base. I've got like 10 water pumps and then about 10 hydrogen pumps. I mean, ice works, you know, if all you've got is ice, go ahead and use ice. But if you can do hydrogen and water, not only is it cheaper to get because you're not, you know, relying on an expensive auto miner to get it for you, but you know, you're saving steps, because when you queue up these expensive fuel packs, it's gonna turn that ice into a tub of water, and then it's going to turn that tub of water into a bottle of hydrogen, and then it's going to combine it with your promethium pellet, you know, to get your fuel. So if you can just put hydrogen bottles in there, and to boot, you know, have the water containers after those, because those go out pretty quick, even when you got a pile of like 9,000. They're actually gone kind of quick. But if you got 9,000 of these puppies, you'll go through some pellets before you run out. And then you can save that ice chunk for later recipes, or if you find a trader that is looking to buy some from you. But you know, it don't have to be close to your base. Basically, you're trying to get, especially in the beginning, this is basically like my first auto mining rig. I don't have teleporters or nothing. I'm just looking to get auto mining some resources, you know, and then close to home would be great. I mean, honestly, medium's fine size with me. The size of this reflects on how good the auto miner is going to be, how much iron or how much ore it gets per hour. Medium is fine with me. I mean, like you're seeing here, just to get it done, I'm putting this on a small. You know, I'm fine with that. It's close to home. It's handy. So, you know, I've hit F4. I've gone to my big box in my CV. You know, I connected with the tool thing. So now down here, you know, I got my toolbar, which is, I can only have 700 volume here, you know. But I'm dealing with big quantities. So by hooking up to this, if I use this yellow toolbar, I can, you know, take advantage of that huge amount. Actually, this I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to hold down left shift and left click once on that to carry as much of that as I can. And that's basically just to speed things up and all. So I'm just using that compass on the top right to kind of find where it is. Don't have to be centered. So now it's not really giving us any information. Sometimes there's a bug right now where, like, let's say this had fuel in it, you'd see this is blank. There was a time when I thought if I left shift, left click to force, you know, this full of all that, like, I thought you would waste fuel. Like, if you opened it up and you seen the bug, you'll see it here in a bit, but if you see that's empty, you know, there's only one slot, I would shift click. It's regardless if this looks empty or not, it's just gonna fill it up. So you really ain't got nothing to worry about. Even if you open it and you see this is empty, go ahead and left shift, left click. You got nothing to worry about. The outputted items obviously are gonna weigh a lot once it's full. But because this is a small node, source quality 48%. You know, if it was a bigger node, this number would be higher, and hence this number would be higher. So we're getting 100 an hour, and because we're using the promethium hydrocells, the max runtime I can get on an advanced drill is about 14 hours. But these are just, you know, forget. As long as you're on a server, you know, this is on a dedicated server, so even when I'm offline, if you're in single player, this doesn't work out, because when you quit the game, they quit running. But if you're on a dedicated server, while you're gone, you are still mining. So, real quick, so you see, you know, I got my friend's base, I got my base, I got my water pumps. So I hit M, right? So here's my map up in the top right. I'm clicking on that little map markers. So you can see home, water pump, my friend's base. I can see those no matter what. So what I'm going to do here, right click on this. So I'm going to add from mining. So you see this is yellow, this is white. I don't want to see this from space. I only want to see it whenever I'm on this planet because shit gets real cluttered. If you hit waypoint for everything, dude, your galaxy is going to look so cluttered. So to do this, we're just going to hit show on HUD, from mining. So I hit accept. So up here on the right, you'll see these are all white except for my home is yellow. And that's because I click once on it and then I click on this edit. You can see my home I do have as waypoint. But everything else is just show on HUD. So what that means is, so right now I can look around, and because I'm on the planet, you know, actually no, see how that says AU? So that's telling me like that's a measurement of space travel. Like that's actually not on this planet. So kilometers, so there's my buddy's base, there's my base, there's water pumps, and now you'll see, bada bing, Promethean mining 500 meters away. So I'm going to fly straight out. Alright, so we are leaving that planet. So now you'll notice, so that's AU, so we know that's in outer space, that's not on the planet we're looking at. But that right there, so you see my home, the homie. So that's my base. If you look around, that's the only marker here. So it's not cluttered, you know. My buddy's base is still marked, my miner is still marked. But whenever I'm out here, I only care about where's my home. So that'll save me time trying to get home too. So now I know, you know, instead of wasting time like flying into Atmo, looking around, figuring out I'm way far away, I gotta fly back out of Atmo, because what you see like actually exists in this game. Like if I fly in above that lake, I'm gonna be above that lake. So I live on top of these rocks. So I fly to my marker. If I fly in here, you can bet. Sure shark shit. There's home sweet home. And my two behemoth CVs. But then see, there you go, there's my water pump, that Promethean miner we just did, and there's my buddy's base. So anyways, so that's kind of what I just learned. And I never really monkeyed with it before, but yeah, when you right click on the map, all this stuff here matters. That show on HUD versus waypoint. So that's what we're gonna do. So this is how I'm setting up a route for my auto miners. You just seen I put one there. So I've got auto miners elsewhere. In this system, I've got quite a bit. I got about 20 out. In this system, I've probably got like 10 of those. So whenever I'm looking for a spot to auto mine, you gotta make sure you got your info panel up on my left here. And then you need to be clicked on the planet or moon. Over here you'll see there's several tabs. So this is like the sector tab, you know, this is telling me about the space around, and then planet is what I'm after. So when I click on Dorrelia, I found out, you know, it's barren. You always want to check gravity before you go there, because some gravity is insane, and you will get trapped in that planet. There's Sathium, Promethium. So these numbers tell you like how rich things are. So none of these are terribly rich. These will always say 1 unless it's rich, and then you would see a 2. Like if these were all 1 and that was 2, I would know that there's a crap ton of Sathium there. So, you know, it's a difficulty hard planet, which is good. It usually means, you know, you're on the right step. And this is just medium, but that's all right. It still probably gives, you know, some medium nodes. So this is pretty much how I start my day. I check that miner. I come out. I just look at miner numbered. My first one's if you got OCD, I'm sorry. My first 2 jumps, instead of being 1 and 2, are actually 4 and 5. So I look at number 4 and I jump there. And I'll show you how I got number 4 to show up like that without being a big mess, but it still gives me a ton of information when I get here. So as soon as we get in, you see there's more information than just that auto miner 44. You're seeing I got player's foreman and the player's foreman marked. So that marker is this, but you'll notice it's only show on HUD. So I only see that whenever I'm here. You know, I don't see it when I'm back at that other planet. It's only because I'm in the same sector as it that now I do see it. So that's the importance of that waypoint versus show on HUD. I got one auto miner on this planet specifically that is marked waypoint, and that's basically like my start off. You kind of want to set it up, you start and stop. Almost like if you can spread them out in a straight line, great. You can come down on the one that's marked as waypoint, refuel it, get the ore out of it, and then keep trucking down the line. And that's the nice thing by doing this, by using the waypoint method. Otherwise, if these weren't marked as waypoint, I'd have no idea exactly where that thing is right now in relation to me in this planet. So I would have to go into the atmosphere, try to find it. But because I marked just that one as waypoint, I can go right to it. Until you got a system of teleporters to jump between these quickly, it takes time. You'll end up with way more ore doing this than you would if you were just straight up mining. Like, this is not early game tactics. But here we go. So I come in, and there is my auto miner 44. Do a short range ping with the right click, long range radar. So here we are. So this is the one that is in fact marked as waypoint. As you see, there's yellow. So this is literally all I do. But when you jump in and out of planets, you lose this connection. So whenever you come into a new planet, just make sure I click that so I can utilize that. I already got Promethium cells, but if I didn't, I would just left shift, left click to put as many of those as I can in my inventory. I walk over to the auto miner, I grab what ore there is, and either whether it's running or not, I left shift, left click, boom, top her off. And you know, I don't worry about none of that because it is what it is. Let's keep trucking. We're on the clock. We're trying to do this as quick as possible. So as I said, as we came in, we seen auto miner 44, but now that we're here, the show on HUD are also, and you see, I'll have like some fancy name, you know, to let me know from outer space, like which site is it. You know, you don't want them all named number one, because then you're like, oh, shit, which one did I have been to, which one haven't I? But then once I'm here, I'm doing the HUD marks. I do here 1, here 2. You know, you could obviously do them in a line. I've changed the miners up here a couple times. That's why like I'm going to 2 and then 1. It, you know, which doesn't matter. Yeah, here's some restroom. It's a medium, which is cool with me. Not picky about it needs to be large. I got more freaking ore than I know what to do with. I'm fine. So I just left shift, left click, fill her up. Put that there. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's keep trucking. So as you've seen, there's only 3 here. So we are off to the next. Just that quick. Such a cool game. So yeah, like I said, you'll lose connection, so this shit will automatically go across. And bada bing. So I know number 4 and number 5 are in the same system, so I'm going to look around for my yellow marks. As you can see on like the edge of my screen, there it is, auto here, 5-5. I know that's my next one. Over there, bada bing. Like if I hustle, I can get all my miners done within an hour, fueled, cycled. I do it once a day. They run for 14 hours. It gets me, you know, plenty. It gets me enough ore to where I have to have 2 furnaces back home. Alright, so I'm just realizing as I get close that 5 kilometers is still a ways away. I better not just go straight in. And the reason why you wouldn't want to go straight in is you can see here I'm doing 100 meters a second while I'm out here in low gravity. When you're near the planet, it does influence your ship in regards to gravity and speed and stuff. I'll just put it back on cruise control. Enjoy the audio, enjoy the view. And that's the nice thing about using pilot mode, which is what you see here. That's my mouse, and the ship just tries to follow that. I pull the mouse down hard and it nosedives. So like I can click Alt and look around while the ship is still following my orders of where I want you to go. And same with the cruise control that you see on the right. If you hold W, you see that bar fill up and down. That's me, a W and an S, and speed. But if I hold W and then hold left control, you see that little thing go whoop, that's cruise control. So if I start from 0 and then I hold left control and then I hold W, you'll see it go up slowly. So like, let's say I wanted to cruise at 26, because my buddy's ship is real heavy and slow. You know, that's how cruise control works in this game. If I want to get out of it, I just hold W. Boom, back to full. Anyways, here we are on Auto 55. So this is a example of a place where I have a lot of auto miners. Run up. Because we jumped planets, we lost the connection, so we just hit this connection again. Open her up. We still got enough of this in here. Left click, shift. Bada bing, bada boom. On to the next. See, this is what got us here, marked as, you know, waypoint. But then all these doodads are obviously HUD only. So I don't see like this big mess of markers while I'm away from here, but while I'm here, I got some semblance of where to go. And we're just going bing bang boom. You can see, you know, you look for relative safety. Try not to do it on someone's property. So this is faction property. You see yellow there, you see red there. Even if you're allies, just try not to do it there, because you never know, shit happens. You know, your relationship goes bad, and son of a gun, you have really expensive miners stuck on somebody's property who hates you. You don't want to be in that situation. My recommendation is just stay outside property lines. So there's some fat Sathium. And again, I've swapped these numbers around so much, that's why it's not like number 2, number 3, number 4. It's, you know, this kind of is for a little bit and then it goes haywire. For Sathium. That's all we're doing. Let's see, this one I do 1, 2, 3, and then I got this guy here, so I'm gonna double back to 9. So yeah, so if you're running low on fuel, hit F4, left shift, left click, top you off. If you forget that you've got ore down here when you leave the planet and it disconnects you, it's okay, you're not gonna lose the ore, it just puts it up here. And again, we're just trying to do this for speed, just trying to get her done. And you can see well, if you know the ship, I changed the design to put, you know, a seat near here, because again, we're doing this for time. I don't want to have to go through an elevator and yada yada. If I'm doing auto miners, I'm going for the quickness. So that's why I'd like to have a captain's chair really close to the entrance and exit. So you are at the planet, but let's say back at 44, I want to alter things. Like let's say, oh shit, I took all my miners from auto 44 and I don't want to look at it anymore. There it is, auto miner 44. I don't want to look at that anymore. What you can do instead of having to fly back all the way to that planet and being like, crap, gotta fly back just to do this. No, actually you don't. There's this beautiful thing called the registry. There's way more stuff you can do with this. Like, if you fall out of your ship and the thrusters are on, like, you can actually access your ship from here, potentially. I looked for the yellow to tell me where I am. Where was that? Roar. There it is, auto miner 44. So, you see this white arrow here. That is actually telling me that the waypoint is on for that. So I would hit waypoint. Where we know it was down. So yeah, boom. You see it's gone. Say, oh crap, that wasn't the right one. I want to turn that back on. I would just go to roar, auto miner 44, waypoint. That's the magic button right there. And then that's what you're looking for. That white thing there. And there it is, auto miner 44. So if you have to use registry, that's how you do it. You find the planet, like let's say you couldn't remember the planet name, you go to your system map or your star map. It has, you know, really useful information too. Like if there's a hover vessel there, you know, there's probably us have been there. So that Akua, you can see there's 3 small vessels and 2 hover vessels. Clearly we've been there. You know, and like let's say you wanted to have a marker for that. Like, oh, I want to go back home 540 light years away. Chat Shack, 540 light years away. Way back on the starter place. So yeah, that is how I do my daily auto mining. You find the spot you want to auto mine. You put down your auto miner, and if it's the first one of the planet, you right click, you make it a waypoint, give it a unique name that will tell you, you know, it's site 1. It's not just miner 1, this is site 1. That's what your waypoint should tell you. And then the other ones that are just show on HUD, those can just say here 2, here 3, here 4 on each, you know, planet. Well, I hope that helped you. Any questions down below? I'll probably do some more stuff like hacking. I totally want to, you know, it's so hard to explain, like how do you hack. It's easier in video form, so I'll actually probably make a video on how to hack the satellites when you go to new stars or old stars. Especially if you got a long-range radar now, like you're gonna find a lot of satellites near stars that you didn't even know were there. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Freaking see you next time.